So last time we discussed about the cake, if you can cut it with a milchik knife, someone recently asked me a similar shailah. What happened was he cut a hot cake with a fleishik knife. And now the shailah is, can he eat it with milk? The other way around. First we had the shailah, someone baked a cake in a fleishik oven. He wants to know if he can cut it with a milchik knife. And now the shailah is that he took a pot of a cake that he taka made pot of, because he has a pot of an oven or a kasher's oven. And he took a fleishik knife and he cut it. And now he wants to know if he could actually have it with coffee. So you might think it might be similar, but it's actually a totally different shailah. So first of all, we have to analyze what's the situation of this cake. Does any tam, number one, come out of the knife into the cake? And if it does, what's its gather? Not banat, ba'aliyah, ba'afiyah, b'tzliyah, b'bishal, what is it? So first of all, just a throwback to halacha, there's no reitiv over here. So b'meila, when you cut with a knife without any reitiv, on a solid food, mi'ikar adin, the halacha should be, it's only oiser kedei klipa, only the surface of the cake. Why? Because we know that a kli is taka oiser kedei klipa, and a kli that's treif, or in this case fleshik, is oiser kedei klipa. And normally a belua doesn't oiser, but because a kli doesn't have anything else to give out, loshen aposkim ein la pleito migufa, it doesn't have its own substance to give, it only has the tam that's in it. So l'cha'ira, it gives out, therefore, even though there's no reitiv. But the pel mamish, the din is it only asks kedei klipa. So the chayda from this knife into the cake should only go kedei klipa. But the poskim say, if you remember, Siman Tzadik Daled, when you cut a hot piece of basar with a milchik knife, the mechabe clearly says that the tam from the knife goes into a whole basar. Why is that? Because of duchya de sakina, because there's pressure, which one might argue doesn't always apply to a soft cake, but let's assume duchya de sakina does apply. So therefore, the duchya de sakina will spread from the knife into the whole cake. Now, in many cases, you probably have shishim. But even if you don't have shishim, so now the cake technically is full of tam from this knife. Now, l'chayre, according to the Ramah, the nat bar nat is mutter clearly in one case, which is olu. The gather of olu is, let's say you cook lokshen in a pot of a pot, and then you put it in a milchik strainer, or a fleshik strainer. So the lokshen are hot, and the strainer is cold. That's olu. In that case, is l'chatchila mutter lo'achle with the opposite min. So l'cha'oira, when you cut this cake now with a fleshik knife, the knife is cold, the cake is taka hot, right out of the oven. But l'cha'oira, it's not be'olu. Olu is l'chatchila muter lo'achle b'kutach. So there are a few reasons to say it's muter lo'achle b'kutach. Number one, there might even be shishim against this knife. Number two, maybe if it's a soft cake, there's no duchya de sakina, so really only asas kedei klipa, technically speaking, you can cut off the klipa. And also, it's not banat be'olu. But the Poyel, the Pri Megadim brings a shitta, and the Pischei Tshuva also brings, that when you have duchke de sakina, it's possible that it changes from olu to nitzlu. He says a case there, if you cut dogim, reitchim, hot fish, with a fleshik knife, it sounds like olu, but it's possible that it's called nitzlu. And by tzliya, we're machmal l'chatchila not to eat it with kutach. So if it's not a shasat chak, and we assume that cutting a cake is going to be duchke de sakina, because there is some pressure there, therefore, there's lav dafki going to be shishim, or if it's not such a big cake, against the knife. So you should l'chatchila be machmir and not to eat it with kutuch because of the shitta, the svara that the poskim bring, that by cutting with a knife, duchya de sakina is considered nitzlu. If it's a shasat chak, if you mixed it with milk already, it's anyways mutter. But even if it's a shasat chak, in this particular case, there's enough svaras possibly to be makel. Number one, not everyone agrees. Pri Megadim only says it's a tzarech iyun. He's not sure. Number two, you probably have shishim against the knife. Number three, not every time you cut with a knife something that's very soft, if it's a soft cake, are you going to consider that duchke de sakina? But taking any shasat chak away, l'chatchila, you definitely should not drink it or eat it, with milk.